Sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulty. I wanted to pause it though because it said we have more slaves now than we did in the past. That one was a little. That one was a little hard to believe. It ain't in the U.S. I'll tell you that much for sure.
In the world today. Your eyes can still move after your death for 15 to 30 seconds. Watching TV for more than 2 hours a day can shorten your life expectancy by 1.4 years. In 1977, we received a radio signal from space that lasted 42 seconds. To this day, no one knows where that signal came from. A lit candle causes more than 15,000 house fires every year. Spider rain could happen at any moment above you. Bill Skarsgård, who played Pennywise in the 2017 version of It, was born in 1990, the year the original It was released. Yeah.
Yesterday we talked about the satanic idol from the Warrens Museum, but today we're talking about the Doll of Shadows. According to Ed Warren, this doll was created with the intent of causing harm through dark rituals. The face is made out of a papier-mâché material, while the mouth is fitted with a single human tooth on the inside. Black feathers are placed on top of the doll's head, while nails and animal bones protrude from the doll itself. The story behind it is a young couple of doll collectors pick up this item from an antique dealer, who practically gives it away to them. Warning sign number 1. On the first night that the couple brings the doll home, they go to bed and everything is normal, until both of them experience a series of horrific nightmares. And when they wake up, it's claimed that there are scratches all over their bodies. The following night, they experience another series of nightmares. Except this time, they wake up with distinct claw marks all over their bodies. Fearing that things will only continue to amplify, they reach out to the Warrens. Ed goes to their home and they just say, "Take it, just take it." And ever since, the doll has remained in the care of the Warrens. Over the years, Ed shared the process of how this doll would be used. It's claimed that somebody practicing dark magic would first take a photo of the doll. The photo would be printed, and on the back, a curse would be written. That photo would then be sent to the victim. Through the gesture of the recipient opening the envelope, it was symbolic of them accepting the curse that was written on the back of the photo. Furthermore, once that recipient saw the image of the doll, that meant the doll could then be projected into their dreams. But none of y'all try to send me a photo with this doll and some scribble on the back. I'm not playing that game. Ed stated that the doll couldn't just be destroyed, since it acts as a vessel for the negative entity. So that brings us to, what item do you want to talk about next? A big thank you to those who recommended this topic on the last video. And aside from paranormal, I love all things true crime, spooky, unusual. So if you have any other suggestions on videos that you would like to see, please feel free to comment below.
The only way that you can get rid of it is by hugging it, so that you can untie its bonds. Fooling around with me, this some bitch will be here forever. Majority of these souls come back just to take care of unfinished business. It seeks for the living to untie its body so that it can be released. This is the legendary ghost by the name of Pocong. You can find them in Indonesia and also Malaysia. Their bodies have to be tied in 7 different places in order to stay intact. The Indonesian people also stated that these motherfuckers can hop, float, and teleport, and they are highly aggressive. The thing is, it's very popular for people to dress up as Pocong on Halloween. Don't jump out on me. I'm letting y'all know now. My heart weak. I wouldn't be able to take that shit. I got something for you. Wanna scare a grown man? I got that heat for your ass. This is really some scary urban legend shit. They believe after a person dies, their soul will wander Earth for 40 days. Now just imagine that you're walking in a graveyard, 12 o'clock in the morning, and you see a tall white body bag jumping towards you like an Easter bunny. What's your next move?
He's the reason why parents started to check Halloween candy to make sure it was safe. On Halloween night in 1974, Ronald Clark O'Brien poisoned his own children's Halloween candy by lacing large pixie sticks with cyanide. After a night full of trick-or-treating, the family returns home where Ronald tells his children that they could each have one piece of candy before bed, and horrifically, his 8-year-old son Timothy chooses to eat the pixie stick. Just when you think that this case can't get worse, it does, because when 8-year-old Timothy opens the pixie stick and starts to eat it, he complains immediately that it tastes bitter because of the cyanide, and his father had the heart to just look at this little face and tell him, "I'll get you Kool-Aid to wash it down," very well knowing what was going to happen. Ronald would later tell police from the moment that he gave Timothy the Kool-Aid and shut the door, it took only 30 seconds until Timothy started to cry, "Daddy, Daddy, my stomach hurts." He was in the bathroom, convulsing, vomiting, and gasping, and then suddenly he went limp. Tragically, on the way to the hospital, Timothy passes away less than an hour after eating the candy. Immediately, this crime sent shockwaves through the community, initially sparking widespread fear that a stranger had tampered with the candy. However, suspicion quickly fell on Ronald when investigators uncovered his financial troubles, since he was more than $100,000 in debt and recently took out life insurance policies on both his children. During the investigation, it was discovered that he had also handed out more poisoned candy to other children that night, but fortunately, none of them consumed it. Prior to Halloween night, police discovered that Ronald had contacted multiple chemical companies to buy cyanide and even jokingly asked them how much it would take to end somebody's life. In 1975, Ronald O'Brien was convicted of murder and was later executed by lethal injection in 1984, although he never admitted guilt, and even in his last words, he denied any wrongdoing. Ultimately, his crime left a lasting mark on Halloween in America, fueling paranoia around tainted candy for years to come. In the end, I'm glad that this monster got what he deserves. I can't comprehend what kind of person could harm any kid, let alone their own kid. And as always, follow along if you're a fan of all things interesting and horrific.